Farmer Briggs had lived on that broken stretch of land for nearly 70 years. Long enough to know every sound the wind made against the old barn, every shadow cast by the cottonwoods, and every warning his old dog Cooper gave him. But on that cold November evening, as the sun bent low and the fields turned the color of ash, Cooper barked in a way Briggs hadn't heard since his wife passed, sharp and trembling, as if something was out there that didn't belong. And when Briggs followed the sound past the fence and down the muddy creek line, he froze at the sight of a tiny abandoned puppy curled inside a torn burlap sack, shaking, whimpering, its fur matted with dirt as if it had been dragged for miles. Briggs bent down slowly, whispering soft words the way he used to when calming Cooper as a pup. But before he could touch it, Cooper rushed forward, not with the excitement of meeting another dog, but with the stiff-backed alertness of a soldier recognizing an enemy, growling low, circling the puppy as if guarding Briggs instead of greeting it. And Briggs felt a knot in his chest as he picked up the small creature, noticing the strange smell on its fur, metallic, sharp, almost unnatural. And as he carried it back toward the farmhouse, the evening sky dimming fast, Cooper refused to walk beside him, choosing instead to flank behind them, watching the puppy with the kind of stare a dog gives only when memory stings. And as they approached the porch light, Briggs saw the puppy open its eyes for the first time. Pale blue, almost glassy eyes that didn't look scared but strangely knowing, and Briggs, who had never feared anything in the woods, suddenly felt the weight of something old pressing on him, a feeling he hadn't felt since the night. He lost his youngest son 30 years ago in a storm that tore their barn roof clean off. Inside the house, when Briggs set the puppy on an old quilt, Cooper refused to cross the doorway, pacing, whining, glancing between Briggs and the small creature as if begging him to understand. And when Briggs knelt down to check the puppy's paws, he noticed faint markings burned into the fur, thin circular patterns, too precise to be natural. And before he could piece together what he was seeing, Cooper let out a sharp bark and bolted toward the back door, scratching wildly, forcing Briggs to follow him into the dark yard where the cold wind carried a sound Briggs hadn't heard in decades. The cry of a newborn faint, drifting from the woods beyond the creek. Briggs felt the hair on his neck rise as Cooper led him deeper into the trees, stopping at the exact spot where Briggs had been standing the night the storm took his son, a place he hadn't visited in years. And right there in the mud were small prints, too small for an animal, too light for a child, almost like impressions of toes pressed by something not fully there. And Briggs felt his breath catch because the puppy's cry echoed softly behind him in the house, matching the rhythm of the wind through the branches the same way his infant son's cries used to rise and fall in their tiny farmhouse. Shaken, Briggs hurried back inside, only to find the puppy sitting perfectly still, staring at a framed photograph on the mantel, the one of Briggs holding his baby boy, wrapped in the same kind of quilt the puppy now sat on. And Cooper, now trembling, inched forward as if finally understanding something Briggs didn't, then gently nudged the puppy's side and whimpered, not in fear but grief, the same sound Cooper had made the night Briggs buried his son. Briggs sank to his knees, heart pounding, because he finally saw what Cooper had sensed from the start. The puppy wasn't abandoned. It wasn't lost. It wasn't wandering the woods by accident. It had been led to him, guided back to the only home that had ever loved what it resembled. And when the puppy crawled into Briggs' lap and pressed its tiny head against his chest, Briggs felt a warmth spread through him, the familiar ache of a memory too painful to name, but too real to ignore. And as Cooper lay beside them, resting his head on the old quilt, Briggs understood the secret the dog had known from the moment he saw the puppy. Some souls don't return the way we expect. Some come back small, fragile, and wrapped in mystery. Not to hunt a home, but to heal the pieces left broken. And as the storm rolled in that night, rattling the windows like the one 30 years earlier, Briggs sat with the puppy against his heart, whispering, "I'm here now," knowing deep down that life had given him one more chance to love what he had lost.